Hello second years, this is week 6 of the home learnings. Over the last few weeks we have been looking at 2-point perspective sketching and then subsequently isometric sketching. So in the last 2 weeks we have been looking at doing isometric sketching to create a crate like this and learning about how to create a crate with our angles going at approximately 30 degrees and trying to keep our lines parallel. So that was our first lesson in isometric sketching. We moved on to the second lesson where we actually took it a little stage further with a little bit more cut out of it, but at this point it was still always horizontal and vertical lines. So in today's lesson we're going to look at a shaped block where we're actually going to think about something that has got some angles in it as well. So this is the block which we're going to try and do an isometric sketch of today. So if we look at the block itself first of all, let's look at it on its elevation. You can see originally it was quite a tall, long rectangle. It's this large shape cut out of it. But if I look at it from the plan view, looking down top of it, you can see there's also this little pocket cut out of it here, which we can also see from the front. So we're going to have a little go at trying to sketch this one. Exactly the same process as we have in previous weeks. We start with our line, our vertical line, and then to make sure that we get the angles going at approximately 30 degrees, I start with the horizontal line, and then I'm going to draw my depth lines in at approximately 30 degrees. So again, if we're in the middle of this, would be at 45 here, so we're going to come down a little bit so that we're much more at around 30 degrees. And then we do the same going in the other direction, so we try and get it going also at 30 degrees, approximately like so. So once we've got that done, we're looking at adding on the 3 sizes. So we're looking at adding on the length of our block, the height of our block, and then the depth of our block. So we're looking at adding on the length of our block first of all, so we'll get that done. The height of the block, we'll look at getting that done, and the width of the block, we'll take that. So there's my 3 sizes. So once again, I'm looking at completing the crate that uses these. So keeping my ruler vertical, slide it along until I get to my depth. Again, slide it along until I get to my length on that side. And then I'm looking at adding on my heights. So from this point here, at parallel to a base, like so, and again parallel to this line here, like so, and then we add in the last 2 lines, which was parallel to this one from this point here, hopefully just going to fit it in my page, and parallel to this line here from this point here. So I've done that maybe a little bit quicker than I have in previous weeks, just to try and get the crate drawn. Okay, so we're now going to look at again trying to draw this front face. So thinking about this shape here, when I look at it, the length from here to here is approximately half the overall length. So that's going to be my starting point. I'm going to sort of try and find where approximately halfway is, and I am going to add in a vertical line there. So there is my approximate halfway. Next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to try and estimate this height here. Now the overall height it's slightly lower than halfway, so this bit here is slightly less than this bit up here, and I've also got another little bit up here that I've got to estimate. So I'm going to estimate that comes into approximately there, and then height wise that would be half. I'm going to come slightly down from that and put in my other parallel line. So what I've got is the shape comes up, it comes along, and then what it's going to do is going to slope diagonally up to this point here. So just using my ruler, I'm just going to draw that in. And what I'm now going to do is just sketch that whole shape in just a little bit darker, once again as I normally do, so that you can actually see how dark that should be, so that it just stands out a little bit. Okay, so there's my front shape. So once again, I'm going to look at trying to create that same shape on the back by taking lines back at 30 degrees from each of the corners. So I'm going to start here at the bottom, I'm going to slide my ruler up to this one, I'm going to slide it up to the next one, and then slide it all the way up to the last one. Okay, so doing again, whatever happens at the front, we do the same at the back. So just darken in this bit, in fact we won't darken that side in yet. From here, it comes out to here, which we know where that point is, so we can darken in the top. And then I note it's coming down at an angle, and I need to find where this point is, where it joins onto. So from the front, I'm going to project at 30 degrees to find this point here. So I'm going to project from here at 30 degrees across. To there, and then that just joins up to my point at the back. Okay, so there's my basic shape. That's it. If I didn't have this bit cut out on the front. So now what I'm going to try and do is draw this shape onto it. Now there's a couple of ways to do it. I could start by drawing the rectangle on the top, or I could start by drawing the shape on here. I'm going to start by drawing the end here, and if I look at the end, you can see that I've got two bigger bits here with a narrower bit in the middle. So that's going to be my starting point here. So I'm going to come in to try and find the middle, and I'm going to draw a vertical line, and then I'm just going to do a similar size either, but that wasn't the middle, was it? That wasn't very good. I'll take another line there, and I'll go same sort of size either side of that. So I'll just come there and there, and what I'll do is I'll draw my two vertical lines at that point. 1 and 2. So there's the width of the bit that's cut out. I now need to project that going back at 30 degrees. So I slide my ruler along, take it along, take it along, and then decide how far it goes. So again, if I look at my shape, it goes slightly beyond, in fact it might be roughly about halfway that it goes in that shape. So if I come to about halfway and take my ruler at 30 degrees and add my shape in. So if I darken in my lines, like so, I'll darken in this edge, like so. Now the drawing is almost complete apart from two little bits. Because this is cut out, I'm going to see a vertical line going down here inside, and I'm going to see a line here going along at 30 degrees. So they're my last two lines that I'm going to add in, just a line there, as you can now see down into the back of it, and then again parallel to the line here, going back like so. And there is my finished isometric shape of this block here. Okay, so that's week 5's lesson. I'm looking for you to have a go at sketching that, and then taking a photograph of your finished work, and then either emailing it or returning it in assignments of Teams to your classroom teacher. Okay, hope you enjoy that, and good luck.